Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what the game has for me today. We've got the Curious, which we've done already in this challenge, so let's go ahead and re-roll that one, and we have the Soldier. I don't believe I've done Soldier. So let's roll here. Soldier's an interesting one for a random weapon challenge because there are some weapons that are a lot worse for the Soldier. If you get one of the melee weapons or like wand or something, that can be very difficult. So let's roll and see what we got. We got submachine gun. Submachine gun I'm going to pass on the Soldier. I've already done Soldier gun runs a lot of the time, so we're going to try to find something a little more interesting. Laser gun is pretty interesting for the Soldier, so we're going to go ahead and use that. Because it attacks so slowly, the laser gun can actually be a real challenge for this character. The Soldier, of course, can't shoot when you're moving, and the laser gun is not great at clearing enemies as they get close to you because it attacks so slowly. So it's going to be hard to avoid taking a lot of damage with this character. I was maybe going to try to shoot the tree there, but I didn't decide quick enough whether I was going to do that or not. So I ended up not getting to attack it. Let's reroll here. We're looking for harvesting, which we will take. Gentle Alien, kind of interesting on this character. The laser gun shoots so slow that the extra enemies might be a downside, but I think you can't afford to pass Gentle Alien basically ever. We'll lock a bag, of course, buy a laser gun, roll, buy another laser gun. One of the nice things about laser gun is that it is relatively cheap as a weapon. Even though it's a laser gun, you might think it would be expensive because it's a fancy laser. Definitely just need to buy as much attack speed as we can find. So I'll buy a little harvesting, but I'm not going to worry too much about harvesting. More, we're going to worry about buying attack speed so that we can stay ahead of the damage curve. Because otherwise, it's going to be almost impossible for us not to take damage. On the Soldier, you can do this tap move thing. So the Soldier can't shoot when you're moving, but you count as not moving as soon as you take your hand off the keys. So it's very important that you learn how the tap moving function on Soldier works so you can reposition while not losing damage. I'm going to take Gummy Berserker. Losing armor, very painful, but the attack speed, critical for laser guns. That's the only stat we care about offensively. And the range isn't horrible either. We can kill enemies that are a little further away if we have higher range. I'm going to take harvesting, we'll buy a laser, we'll reroll again, buy another laser, and then roll and lock another one. That's pretty lucky. Gun is a very large weapon tag, so you're not that likely to roll into specific guns. So finding 5 with a 6th locked, especially with laser gun, which is a weapon that gets low income on the first wave because it attacks really slow, is a little over average. So we're fairly fortunate there. Definitely gonna need more attack speed. You're gonna hear that a lot. This is, it should be a pretty fun run though. Here where I am, it is a gorgeous spring evening. Got a run that's going pretty well with a fun weapon combo, and I've got a beer, so I'm feeling good. Hope everyone else's days are going similarly well. I could take the armor to offset our armor loss, but let's roll. I'm just looking for attack speed. 2 range damage, also fairly interesting, though 5 attack speed might actually just be better. Even though laser gun gets 400% damage scaling, so this actually increases our damage from 40 to 48. That's probably still worth it, just because it's 2. I do want movement speed. We don't care that much about crit chance, but I'm going to reroll here because I want attack speed or harvesting more. But 2 armor is too good to pass up on. All right, we'll buy our last weapon here. We will buy these 2 items and then roll. Got some more laser guns, which is awesome. Laser gun does get faster attacks as you level it up, but not by a ton. But still obviously worth leveling for that reason, as well as just the increased damage and better stats and everything. We want to get them to at least level 2. So currently, even with the Gentle Alien increasing the number of enemies, we're not getting overwhelmed that badly, but that will start happening pretty soon. The biggest challenge for this character is going to be wave 9. So I just need to get a massive amount of attack speed before wave 9. One nice thing about laser guns is that they kill the elites really quick, so we won't have to dodge the elites too much. I'm going to take the Insanity here. This is a decent way to increase our damage output when it shows up for cheap like this. 8 harvesting is great. That gets us 21 and 15 attack speed. What a gift. That's exactly what we were looking for. We want to hit 21 harvesting because it grows by 5% per wave, but it rounds up. So when you hit 21, you start getting 2 per wave instead of 1 per wave. I'll take the laser gun here, combined by another one, by a propeller hat, and roll. A fish hook this early is pretty nice. I will also take a weird ghost. Wave 5, I feel like we can avoid taking any damage, so I'm pretty happy to buy the weird ghost. Hedgehog to increase our ranged damage, but at the cost of regen. I think I'm actually just going to roll past it. I'm kind of looking just for more guns or just attack speed items. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy I did that because we rolled into a laser and a lure. So I need to be very careful this wave. Obviously, what you really don't want to have happen on this character is to get into a position where you have to start running because you can't clear the enemies fast enough, because then you can just never stop running. Because this character can't shoot while moving, so if you're running away, then you're not killing enemies and you're just going to start getting overwhelmed. That's also why you should always use regeneration rather than lifesteal on the soldier, because when you need to heal is also when you need to move. And if you can't heal while moving, then that's a real problem for a character. So you should use regeneration almost always over lifesteal on the soldier. We'll take 3 armor. That's a pretty big boost. We will grab fishhook, laser gun, and lure. Do a reroll here. Nothing here that I care about, but we'll keep upgrading our lasers. Sadly, I can't lock anything for the fishhook here because we rolled 4 weapons in this shop, which is really unlucky. But the fishhook will have time to shine later on. That 15 attack speed level up is massive. That's really helping this character out. We have an early bag, so I'd like to find trees or just some luck. Obviously, you always want trees and luck on every character, but especially if you get an early bag, because it just spikes the income from the bag so much. Another reason that the lure is so good, of course, is that we have a bag, so it's also just worth 30 materials. In addition to the items and the regen that we get. Try to pick up some of these materials before the end of the wave. With the soldier, you don't have to worry too much about material pickup because your pickup radius is so huge, but it is worth thinking about. Don't have any use for these stats, so we're recycling. Don't have any use for the goat skull, so we're recycling that. And then just picking up 15 more attack speed. I could grab 8% damage, or 3 regen, or 8 harvesting. Any of these are very attractive. What's our damage per shot? 64 on the level 2 lasers. I don't really need the percent damage. I think we can get away with taking 8 harvesting, but now I need to stop buying economy items after that. We'll take another weird ghost, and I'll grab a penguin as well. I don't mind having lifesteal, but butterfly is a kind of inefficient way to buy it, so I think I won't. The compass gives us additional movement speed, which we do really want. Soldier really needs extra move speed, so you can reposition. Would I pay 48 for 2 lifesteal? Because we get a free reroll if I buy the butterfly here. I probably would, actually. I think that does put it just over the top. And then sharp bullet is an incredible find. So laser already does have 1 piercing. By default, and usually for weapons that have piercing already, you don't want sharp bullet because it reduces the shot, the damage per piercing shot. But laser by default only loses 25% per pierce, so it's not as severe to increase that. And also only has 1 pierce by default and shoots really slow. So this will help us on wave 9 a ton, and in general with horde waves. We could also have locked this. We do have a fishhook. Cursed sharp bullet is excellent because you get extra piercing and less piercing damage loss, but I think buying it now is gonna pay off more. Coral does work very well for the soldier, so we're gonna go ahead and buy that, and then we will take a laser gun as well, and I'm hoping some of these items get locked or get cursed. If possible, I want to allow the big slashers to hatch, because laser guns are good at defeating single high health enemies, like the slashers, and then they're worth extra money if we do that. I have to tap my keys a lot here, so hopefully it's not coming through too much on the microphone. But you can see we are tap moving around the field. They have sort of fixed the glitch where you can tap move and get the full benefit of coral. It used to give you a big spike of heal. It would sort of store up all the heal, and then you would get it all at once as soon as you stopped moving. You can still use it to gain extra regen by tap moving, but it is a less severe bug. I'm going to take the attack speed here. We're pretty much buying every point of attack speed we see. Classic fishhook, it never works. We'll still just buy the weapon upgrades though. Coral I'll take as well. Garden is not worth grabbing. The soldier can't reposition easily, so you can't use consumable healing as easily on this character, so we're just going to pass. I will take the coffee, though, and a lens, of course, and another weird ghost, and then we're going to roll. Lock a laser gun. I'll lock an alien tongue. A little increased pickup radius is still nice, and then we're going to roll a couple more times to try to lock items for our fish hook. We have 15% pity bonus as well, so hopefully one of these things gets cursed. So I can hold still a little bit at the start of the wave here. We have double coral, so that will help us heal up really quick. You can see, even though I'm tap moving, we're still getting some of the plus HP value from coral. So you can still use the tap move to get a lot of health from coral. It's not as busted as it was before, but it is still very powerful. You will usually see me pass coral, because except on the soldier, I just don't like doing this tap move thing in normal runs. I think it's fine for this character, because that's its gimmick, but I don't like doing it all the time. Wears out your keyboard really fast. Doing well on crates, though, which is really nice, especially because we have a bag. Boxing glove, we don't really want knockback. The soldier has a bunch of knockback by default. One thing we could do, I guess, is take the boxing glove in case we find coil. Because, of course, that would be a big damage boost, but I don't think that's worth 10 materials, so I'm going to recycle. Take the weird food. I will not worry about dodge. Let's re-roll this. I think we could do better than this shop. Re-roll one more time. I'm going to take 6 max HP. Our max HP is quite low. Nice. We did get 2 items cursed, so that's great. We will buy all of these things and roll. Buy another laser gun. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the wheelbarrow. Because of course this is an economy item, and then we can lock laser gun and baby with a beard. Either of those cursed would be awesome. We'll take a penguin as well, and I'm gonna roll one more time to see if we can lock something good for the fishhook. Claw tree I don't think is worth it. Even cursed I don't think I would care that much about claw tree. So we're just gonna pass and go to wave 9. So now hopefully we can survive this wave. This is the wave that's a big test for a laser gun build, because our attacks are so slow that wave 9 and any horde waves we might face are really, really challenging. Fortunately, we found the sharp bullet, which definitely helped a ton in order to get this clear speed, and we've been heavily prioritizing attack speed for exactly this reason. Got that curse alien kill, which is really nice. Also, I also don't know if this is coming through on the mic. My partner is playing like Phasmophobia or one of those spooky games in the other room. So if you just heard a yell, I apologize. But don't worry, no one's in danger. I'm gonna take the regen here over the armor, I think, because we have no healing almost. So I really do want to get some healing. Oh, wait, no, I have double coral. So I didn't need to do that. I could have taken the armor. Just because it doesn't show up on the character sheet, so it kind of messed me up. I'll take the attack speed here. I'm going to buy the laser gun. We will buy the penguin. I'm debating whether I want to leave Baby with a Beard locked for another wave to see if I could get it cursed, but I think it's just going to be strong enough just to buy it now. Fairy, of course, is awesome. We'll take a hit injury. I'll lock a bat as well, and then roll. Shady Potion I will lock. Cute Monkey cost me a range damage, so even cursed, I don't think we want it. But we'll lock a Butterfly, again, just for fishhook value. So we need to find some more flat range damage to make this baby with a beard good. It would have been better, obviously, if it had gotten cursed. But it's still a very powerful item for us, helping us clear large groups of enemies, in addition to our very good single target damage that we have off the laser guns. One of the funny things about Soldier's design, by the way, is I'm pretty sure that when the developers gave Soldier 15 knockback, they thought it was a buff, that it would help the character to like push enemies away because you can't move easily. But 15 knockback for the Soldier is actually a significant nerf, because it means that often you push enemies outside, past other enemies, and then split your damage between multiple enemies, allowing you to get overwhelmed, which forces you to move much more frequently. So, weirdly enough, having knockback really hurts this character. It really hurts a lot of characters. Knockback is generally a downside more than it is an upside, but for the Soldier, it's especially bad. We'll definitely take Fertilizer. It's money and, of course, gives us additional regen. I could take 10 Harvesting here. We don't really need that, though. We don't really need the Lifesteal either, so I'm going to roll. I feel like we can do better. I just want 5 attack speed. We have 10 luck. Yeah, I'm just going to take the level 1 attack speed upgrade. I think that's fine. And then here, do I want 3 armor or 9 HP? I think we want 3 armor. Take the Shady Potion. Take the Bat. Butterfly I'm not going to buy when it's not cursed. I will buy a crown, because of course, you cannot be the king of Brotato without it. We'll take a bag as well. We will keep on rolling. I'll take a treasure map, and we'll upgrade our cursed laser. Lock the baby elephant and roll, and I'll lock gentle alien. Starfish cursed I would buy. I might not end up buying this not cursed. So we'll have to decide where our damage is at, because 15% increased enemy damage is incredibly dangerous. And to be honest, we don't really need the economy at this point. Our economy is in great shape. But if it gets cursed, then it'll be excellent, because the increased enemy damage will be decreased, so the penalty will be offset as well. We've got 1 spicy sauce for explosions, but nothing else, so plastic explosive is not worth it. This is a real test of most Soldier builds. Wave 11, because of course the rib cages just keep chasing you. So if you don't have the damage or attack speed or knockback, Soldier does come with knockback, but if you don't have the damage to deal with them, you're going to get overwhelmed by them. With laser guns, not really a concern, because our single target damage is great. We're not going to get overwhelmed by single high health enemies like these rib cages. We're much more worried about numerous low health enemies. Wave 14 is going to be the big test for this build, as well as Wave 9 and any Horde waves we have. I actually haven't checked whether we have a Horde wave or an Elite wave coming up first, which would be next wave, so I need to pay attention to that. Riposte, I'm going to recycle. We have no use for that. Landmines we're taking just for the 1 regen. Capping my max HP at 46. Very spooky, of course, having max HP this low, but 8 ranged damage on a weapon that scales 500% or more with our ranged damage is obviously incredible. I think we are taking the handcuffs. Because we have an elite next, I just want really high damage so we can just blow up the elite before it forces us to move. So taking the additional damage makes us much safer next wave. It's going to make us a little less safe wave 15 when we have 46 HP for a Horde wave, but that's a future us problem. Laser turret, I'm actually going to recycle. We just don't really need effects like that. We're taking attack speed here. Baby elephant and gentle alien I'm taking. The starfish, I might leave it locked for 1 more wave, because our fishhook has a pity bonus now, so we might get it. We might end up getting it cursed. Black flag as well. So I think we're going to lock these 2 crazy economy items. We'll buy the warrior helmet going into the next wave here. Bandana, I am still just going to take additional piercing shots. But this might also be worth just locking for the fishhook. Maybe we just lock a bunch of items for fishhook this wave. And then I will take the sunglasses because that will help us burst down the elite a little faster. So any of these 3 cursed would be excellent. All right, let's see where the elite is because we've got to kill it super fast. So I actually really messed up there. Luckily, we had bought a lot of regen and armor. But I let the elite hit me and force me to move, meaning that I put myself into a possible death spiral where the elite chases us around, and then because we're not killing anything else, we start getting overwhelmed by the other enemies on the field. The soldier can go from looking great to an instant loss in the blink of an eye, so you really, really have to be very aware of your movement and how you are playing the character. In order to win with this character. Now, usually not that big a deal if you're using like revolvers or something, a weapon that has a greater window for messing up. But with laser guns, we have almost no room for error on the character, so we have to be very careful. Managed to get that loot alien right at the end, which is nice. Gnome, tragic pickup from this elite, really not the item we were looking for, so we're just recycling it. We'll take the lost duck. Another shady potion, great. Jerky we'll take as well, just a bunch of healing. And small fish, perfect. Although it costs us attack speed, we just want to burst down enemies as fast as possible, so we're pretty happy with that. I'm going to take 12% damage. Our percent damage is horrible, so increasing that is... Oh, come on. Fishhook, why? 30% pity bonus, are you kidding me? I'll take the medal for sure. I don't think we can afford to not spend any money going into wave 14. So I think what we're going to do here is buy the bandana, and we really don't need these economy items. I would have liked to get them cursed, but we're just gonna pass on them here. It feels really bad to do that, but we just couldn't afford to like waste a bunch of shop slots on not getting stronger. Have our fishhook just continue to not do anything for wave after wave would be really bad. So we just have to bite the bullet and buy items that are actually going to help us. Eye patch we don't need. We've got now double pierce, so we really don't need the eye patch. What I need is a pumpkin to increase our piercing damage. We'll take the sunglasses. More crit chance is good. I do want more armor, but more crit chance is really nice. Let's roll here. Gummy Berserker. I probably should just take again as well, because attack speed is that important for this weapon. And sadly, I was rolling a bunch to try to lock stuff with our 30% fishhook bonus, but we didn't find anything. So this has been amongst the worst fishhooks I've ever seen. Maybe we get, you know, one good item lock, a curse with the fishhook someday. Nice, killed that tree just from far away there. I can't believe we had a 15% pity bonus. We locked 3 of the best, like, strongest economy items in the game, or 2 of them, and then an item that's really good for the character. Not one cursed. just brutal. White flag, we're passing on, of course. I'll take attack speed. We're not going to build dodge on this character. We just want even more attack speed. Another coral, great. Baby gecko, yes. Gummy berserker, yes. Metal, yep. Metal, obviously, we don't get the HP from, but all the other stats are really, really excellent. We could take the peacock here, but increased enemy damage going into wave 14 is so dangerous, we can't do that. The saltwater is a little interesting because this can help get us out of trouble. If we're taking a hit, then the speed boost can help get us away so that we can reposition to where we can actually fight again. Then I'm going to upgrade my laser and lock a lemonade. That's fine. Again, really bad value on the fishhook, but a cursed lemonade is fine. Feels a little rough to spend a 30% pity bonus on a level 1 item like that, but you know, given what's happening, we'll take what we can get, and we do need to keep getting stronger. The loot aliens, of course, get pushed away by our knockback, so then we have to chase them around. I will say the triple coil or coral that we have is really nice for this character. We have actually a lot of regen functionally because we have triple corals as well as the regen, the like real regen that we fought. So we can heal up incidental damage. It's not good at keeping us alive if we are starting to take real, like, life-threatening damage, but it can prevent us from getting to the point where we're taking life-threatening damage by just healing up chip damage really fast. We'll recycle that. I'll take an explosive turret. It does cost me regen, but this is a way to clear a few enemies. And we're going into a horde wave as well. And then, obviously, the max HP isn't useful, but the percent damage is. Gonna upgrade to a level 4 laser gun here. The cursed laser gun being level 4 is awesome, giving us a lot of pierce, or a lot of damage and everything. And really good attack speed on this weapon as well. We will keep upgrading to level 3 lasers, take a fertilizer. Oh, by the way, the fishhook didn't work again, so we're up to, what's that, 35%. Not the highest pity bonus I've ever seen, but still pretty bad. We have no XP gain, so I will take the Bean Teacher here, I think. Actually, I'm going to take the Sunken Bell. The Bean Teacher is very tempting, but I don't think we actually need the economy items. I feel like my only loss condition for this run is if the Horde Wave overwhelms me. Sunken Bell can help buy us some space if that starts happening. Bean Teacher, I'm still going to lock, because even though we won't get the high value that we would get on a Horde Wave, we'll still get a couple levels from it. And who knows, maybe someday Fishhook will curse something. So we're playing this run a lot less greedy than I normally would, but this is a very difficult run, I think, just in general. Because laser gun as your only weapon is always just very challenging, since the clear speed that you get on it is very low on large groups of enemies. We've managed to mitigate that mostly, but we still have to be pretty careful with how we're playing the character. Trying to pick up some of these materials we're leaving over on the left here. You can see we're starting to get just too many enemies on us. So while the Sunken Bell won't come into play, and we could have used the Bean Teacher to get some levels, I still feel good about this decision, because it only takes just a little bit of pressure for us to take enough damage that the Sunken Bell will go off and save us a bunch of damage. I'll take Boiling Water here. We're over HP cap anyways. It's worth a regen. Take a Weird Food. Toxic Sludge. 1 regen for -2 dodge. Well, we're not building dodge, so easy choice. Could take crit chance, but I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for attack speed. Movement speed also good, actually. And then I'll take 9 crit chance because it's a level 3 upgrade. Are you kidding me? What is going on? We'll buy these 2 anyways. Frozen Heart. 5 crit chance is good. We do have 9 elemental damage already, so that's actually not terrible. I think we will buy the Frozen Heart. We'll buy Shady Potion and Banner. We'll re-roll here. I'll take a Cyber Ball to help clear enemies. And then Ice Cube, really good because we have Frozen Heart, so this will help us kill bosses even faster. We're going to pass on the Fertilizer. It's a little late for Fertilizer. Wisdom we don't want because that will slow our clear speed on bosses. Clawtree I will lock. I'll lock the Wisdom in case we get it cursed. And Statue I will... So Statue, weirdly, not actually that good for Soldier most of the time, because losing the 10 speed is pretty bad. If it gets cursed, it'll be fine, and we can buy we have already boosted our movement speed, so we can accept the move speed penalty, but Statue, despite being the standing still item for the standing still character, is often not actually a great item for the Soldier. But in this case, because attack speed's so important to laser guns, we'll buy it anyways. Just worth mentioning that. All right, I kept wondering where the explosions were coming from, because I was like, we don't have rip and tear or anything, but we just have the one random landmine that's causing the occasional explosion. And we have the explosive turret that's causing the frequent ones, but I mean the ones that are on the other side of the map from the explosive turret. Another loot alien, that's a really nice find. Don't know if you saw it before it died because it just blew up, but there was one there. And you can see why I felt like we didn't really need the economy items. We're making a lot of money anyways, so we didn't need those items, but it feels bad that they didn't get cursed. On the other hand, what did get cursed, Sift's Relic. Insane item drop here. 7 curse, 5 armor, 17% dodge. Suddenly, dodge is back on the menu as a possibility, so an amazing find. Strange Book costs us a range damage. We don't have any use for the engineering right now because we have Frozen Heart, not Nail. So we're gonna pass on Strange Book. We take the Cake, -1% damage for +1 regen. That's fine. Scar I'll take as well. And then I think we can do better than this. Let's reroll here. I'll take 6 move speed because we're about to reduce our move speed. Statue getting cursed is great. Claw Tree I'll take anyways. Wisdom I won't take. Chameleon, still not worth it, even on the soldier. Again, defensive stats that only work when you're standing still, not very good, because you aren't going to be taking damage while standing still most of the time. Gonna upgrade our laser guns here. Clockwork Wasp for more movement speed is still excellent. Plant, yeah, we'll take this. It's 4 regen. The exoskeleton as well. Which of these do I want? Because I can't buy both of them. I guess I'll take the exoskeleton. Oh, I can buy both of them. Never mind. So we'll just buy both. And again, no fishhook value, but at least this time we're not floating a 45% pity bonus. And we didn't take wisdom for precisely this reason. We killed the boss in 4 seconds. The wisdom would have just slowed it down. So unless it got cursed, we did not want to buy wisdom. Wisdom is one of those controversial items because there's a lot of people who really think that it is like the best item ever and you should buy it in every situation. And after the buff that it received with the release of the expansion, it's an okay item. There are times when it's good and there's times when it's bad. So you really do need to evaluate it as to whether it's something that you want on that character. But wisdom is one of those items that whenever I pass it, there's always a lot of comments from people who are like, never pass wisdom. And that's not a wise way to look at it. I'll take the Dangerous Bunny. Pencil, yeah, 1% attack speed and 1 crit chance. Definitely real downsides, but the regen is still worth it. Helmet we're very happy with. We want armor and regen, of course. We'll take another sunglasses as well. Jetpack, amazing find, actually. Yes, it cost me a bunch of stats. HP, armor, regen. The HP doesn't matter, but armor and regen. But speed and dodge are both really good now. Vigilante Ring will tick wave 18-19, so it's basically 6% damage, but we only have 29%, so that's actually worth grabbing. And then here, I'm just going to take 2 more armor. I'm just worried about just dying, just getting popped by the bosses, because our HP is so low, so I just want armor and dodge. Pumpkin, excellent. We'll take a lure, we'll take a beanie as well. That'll help us stay ahead of the potential to get popped by the bosses. Here's the black flag back, but at this point, we really don't need it. Shackles, I have a lot of regen, so I think we can buy the shackles here. Take a head injury also, and I guess I'll lock the beanie and see if we can get that cursed. This fishhook continues to unimpress. But our damage should be high enough at this point that we can just one-tap the bosses. So what I'm worried about is just... I mean, it's not quite that high. So we're going to take, 10, 15 seconds to kill the bosses, something like that. Maybe a little less. What I'm worried about is taking 2 hits and dying during that time. So we just need armor, dodge, and regen to make that as unlikely as possible, so we can just sort of tap move around the map, run away if we have to, and regenerate, and then finish off the bosses, even if something goes wrong in the boss fight. We are getting a lot of crates, though, which is awesome. We'll take an Insanity, we'll take a Blindfold. Now I'll take Garden when it shows up in a box. Pocket Factory. We have no use for the Pocket Factory, but I'm going to take it anyways because I love Pocket Factory. I forget what we have locked in the shop. I think it's something fairly irrelevant, but I'll take the Mirror just in case we find something good. When Mirror shows up in a box, it's usually worth buying because you will usually at minimum get like you'll make the money back at least. I'll take 4 regen here and then 16% more damage because that's, I think, what matters the most. Okay, yeah, it was a beanie we had locked in the shop. Not what we really want to mirror, especially now that our speed is capped. So we're gonna not buy the beanie. We're gonna buy the laser gun. Don't need eye surgery. We'll roll here. Double Cursed Vigilante Ring, but it will only tick once. How interesting is that? 275 for 10% damage. Do we care about that? It's not great, but I think that's worth picking up. I will take a Cyber Ball. That can help clear the wave. Sadly, Anvil doesn't do anything, because we wouldn't be able to buy it in time. Similarly, Fishhook at this point doesn't really do anything, so we're rolling past both of those. Definitely a Laser Gun and a Metal Plate, though, are worth grabbing, and then we'll lock another Laser Gun, and we'll lock a Tentacle for our Fishhooks, and go to the next wave. Or a single Fishhook. We didn't buy the second one. Kind of an odd run, just like what we had to prioritize in order to make this character weapon combination work. You have to play in a very specific way when you're playing with Laser Gun, and in a very specific way when you're playing the Soldier, so we ended up buying some pretty odd items in this run. For example, I think a lot of players would not have capped their HP at 45, but on the Soldier, it doesn't really matter what your max HP is, because when you start taking damage, you're just going to die anyways. Because as you start running away, you're not clearing enemies, and then you're going to take more hits. So, capping our HP at 46 is just not that big a problem for this character at all. So you really have to think about this character quite differently than you would about other characters. Yeah, I'll take the Duct Tape, of course. Dynamite, just for the 1 regen. We'll take 2 range damage, that's great. Take a Tentacle, upgrade our Laser, take a Lens. Compass, I'm going to pass on. I don't want to lose crit chance, and we don't really need more movement speed, because we're at speed cap anyways. Coil, that's a bunch of % damage, so we're definitely taking that. We'll take a Pumpkin as well. We'll roll here. And then we will buy another Laser Gun. Do I want the Scope? That's 7% attack speed loss, but 2 range damage. Our range damage is quite low, so I think we will benefit from the Scope in terms of clear speed. Someone who feels really ambitious can go ahead and do the math on how that changed my DPS. I am making the assumption that that increased it, but maybe I'm wrong. And go ahead and, I'm going to leave that one as an exercise for the viewer. I wish we could buy all these items, because if they were all of these getting cursed would be awesome. Sadly, we cannot. Let's go ahead and see if we can kill the bosses quickly enough to make this run a success. Go to wave 20. So you can see there, that's why I'm talking about how you need to have ultra fast kills on the bosses. We took 2 hits, and we were already starting to get a little nervous about having to run away and letting a bunch of enemies build up. But because I had so much damage, we were able to clear those bosses very fast and win the run, which of course is the goal. All right, let's take a look at our items. So triple Gummy Berserker, you rarely see me buy this item, but because it's Laser Gun, we're priced into all the attack speed we can get. 1335 materials off bags, obviously an incredible amount of income. It's like I always say, if you are struggling with a run, just roll into 3 bags, and that will help you out. I don't know why people don't just do that. The sharp bullet, obviously excellent for laser gun, even despite their piercing damage loss. The triple coral were really nice. They give us a lot of regeneration, of course. Baby with a beard dealt 67k damage, 66k damage, which is on the low end for a ranged damage character, but still pretty solid. 0 damage from spicy sauce, so that really shows how the soldier is different from other characters. It's very rare that this does actual 0 damage. It's often not a lot of damage, but actual 0 is kind of wild. 108 harvesting from the crown, excellent. 8 free items from treasure map, unbelievable. Treasure map is such a good item. 25k damage on baby elephant. What else? 18k on explosive turret, helped out with the horde wave, which is pretty nice. We ended up level 27, even though we got a very late bean teacher, so pretty good levels. The ice cube and frozen heart combo helped with the bosses, great. Persif's relic, awesome, of course. And then all of our other items were pretty solid. Wait, why did it? Oh, because we had another vigilante ring. I was like, what? How did we get 29 damage off of these 2 vigilante rings? Wait, did we? Yeah, we did. Okay. But also, how is 29 possible? Because these are worth 5, and this is worth 3% per wave, so that's 10%. That leaves 19. 19 is not a multiple of 3. There must be some weird hidden rounding going on with the cursed ones. But that is interesting that showed up that way. All right, my friends. Hope that you enjoyed this run. Really happy to get another win in the win streak with a fairly challenging character for win streaking with random weapons. So this was a very solid win. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, friends. I'll catch you next time.